pulling into Chico, downtown Chico. This is Main Street, Senator Theater on the right. Sorry about the shakiness and holding the wheel and doing it all. Oh, that guy ran the red light. I'll give him a ticket. Anyway, we're cruising. It's shaky, I'm sorry, the steering wheel. I'm holding this as a handheld camera or phone, so way down there you can see UPS truck blocking my path. But anyway, here's some restaurants and bars and what have you, which is what downtown Chico's kind of known for, is kind of a party scene. I don't usually come down here and hang out, at least when the college is in session, but it's a nice place nonetheless. Just I don't like all the craziness that might go with it. We're going to change lanes here. Anyway, the roads are timed at 28 miles an hour. So if you go 28, you hit all green lights. So it's a lot of out-of-towners don't know that. So they run really hard and they have to slam on their brakes. And then they're block is slowing down traffic. Anyway, we're moving into what's called the Esplanade, or Esplanade, but locals call it the Esplanade. Over Chico Creek, there's a bridge right here I'm not going to show you at the moment, but we just crossed a small bridge. And moving into a section of town here that's the oldest section of town, at 160 or 7 years old. In America, especially on the West Coast, towns aren't very old, because prior to us Europeans, it was villages, Indian villages and stuff, so there were no major cities. In the 16 and 1700s, they had small outposts from the Mexican government or the Spanish government, but Chico was a Spanish land grant to John Bidwell, who basically founded this town, and it's a very nice town. Anyway, this runs for a couple miles, but this section here is very extra pretty in the fall. And anyway, just give you an idea of here we are. So going 28 miles an hour, and there's a mix of apartments and residential and business, mostly business on the side here. There used to be actually a train that ran through here, and before that they had a trolley, which is like public transportation. But by and large, public transportation in California or anywhere in the United States is pretty rough, outside of New York and maybe San Francisco, Chicago. So no public transportation to speak of other than a bus system that is so-so. But I mean, everybody here has a car, so I mean, I have 6 of them, so it's like why take public transportation when I can drive? And parking's free and traffic's not too bad. In the big city like in LA, you know, you can't, it makes more sense to have public transportation. It just doesn't work very well. But here in this town, you know, the town's only 7 or 8 miles long. So by the time you got on a bus and got across town, it'd be an hour, which would only take you 7 or 8 minutes to drive. So but all in all, you know, if you could afford it, everybody has a car. Again, I have, my cars aren't nice, they're cheap cars. I'd rather buy a cheap car and drive it, and when it blows up, I just give it away to someone for parts or sell it for a few coins, a little bit, and then world famous Big Al's drive-through right there. Anyway, Starbucks coffee across the street. Moving into the outer section of Esplanade. I was getting back to the car thing. You know, you buy a $1,000 or $1,500 car, you drive it for 2 years. Well, that's cheaper than taking the bus. So I have 5 beater cars. My kids drive them, and I drive them. And then my wife has a newer car that she drives, because she drives a lot. So anyway, United States is definitely a car culture. I mean, there's cars everywhere. Not so many motorbikes and stuff that you might find. And there's bicycles too, but it's mostly recreation, and then some people who, you know, might ride their bike or something. There's a creek down there. There's a big house, fancy house back in here called the Miller Mansion. It's actually being remodeled, repaired here at the moment, so, and for sale. Anyway, back to work. Catch you later.